I could lose my medical license. I knew that I could go to prison. And just as I had to trust these women who came to me, not to bring charges against me, which could put me in prison, they had to trust me to give them good medical care and service and not harm them. And that was a scary thing in those days. They had to trust that they were going to leave there intact and alive.
Women from all over the country came to Dr. Boyd's office in a small Texas town after he joined the clergy abortion service.
To have the service available, safe, and to have it done with respect and with dignity, and to know that your work is needed, is appreciated, and to get that reaffirmation every day from patients who you may have never met before. To have the patient look up and say, "Thank you, doctor. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been here." Or just a simple thank you.
There would be a chance where I could hemorrhage to death. So I say no. I didn't see why would I want to go through a whole 9 months giving birth to a baby that wasn't going to be alive.
In Kentucky, as in more than 30 other states, abortion funding is only available in cases of rape, incest, or life endangerment. This young woman faced serious obstacles when she applied for subsidized medical care after learning she had an abnormal pregnancy.
It was obvious that the baby was anencephalic, which an anencephalic baby is a baby that when the neural tube or the spinal cord brain segment begins to develop, there is no development at the top of the spinal cord, so there is no brain.
The child would not survive, not even a minute.
To spare Angela the medical risk of carrying to term and the trauma of giving birth to a baby with no chance of survival, the family decided to end the pregnancy. They soon discovered that the cost of the operation would not be covered by Medicaid.
There's a very passionate group in this state who are against abortion for any reason at all, ever, period, never. There's nothing in this world that's that black and white. And you're dealing with people who are not involved with a medical situation trying to make blanket decisions. If you've ever looked into a woman's eyes when you've just told her that her baby is doomed, if they could see that, they would know why this has to be kept safe and legal and why we don't need more barriers for these women.
A cartoon book of crude jokes about abortion doctors was mailed anonymously to medical students across the country. Refusing to be intimidated, a group of them formed Medical Students for Choice and took a stand when they realized that abortion procedures were not being taught in most medical schools.
We started talking to medical students who were second, third, and fourth years and just asked them the simple question, have you heard about abortion? And they all said that they hadn't.
When I got into medical school, I decided that I'd like to learn to do the procedure. The chief of the department found out that I was doing this and called me into his office. I was in the middle of assisting a twin delivery, was incredibly excited, and I was called down to his office, and then immediately he started screaming at me. He told me that he was very much against abortion, and this is a quote, he said, "Who do you think you are as a third-year medical student deciding what your education should be?"
We were going around the country to all these different meetings where we knew students would be. At one place, I had to haul my ironing board to the hotel and set up with tablecloths over it, put our petitions, sign-up sheets. But students were swarming around our ironing boards.
Grassroots efforts are succeeding and have led to more than 100 chapters nationwide.
As medical students, we demand this training. We absolutely think that it would be irresponsible medicine to not include abortion training in obstetrics and gynecology programs.
We're hearing about knitting needles again. We're hearing about bleach douches again. And they may not be reporting it to their physician or to the judge that they end up talking to or to the clinic worker at the hospital, but there are girls out there doing that. Especially when it comes to abortion, we present them with this maze of laws. You must go before a judge here in Minnesota if you don't wish to tell both of your biological parents. These kids are being frightened away from asking for help.
States that have parental involvement laws are required to provide the option of a waiver, such as a judicial bypass. Meanwhile, anti-abortion forces are working to make these laws stricter, placing an additional burden on teens with difficult home situations.
There certainly are some young women who, for a variety of reasons, and unfortunately physical abuse is one of them, that absolutely cannot tell their parents. And we talk to them then about judicial bypass. There are some counties in this state that have judges that are just absolutely opposed to abortion, no matter what the circumstances. And when a young woman comes to them seeking the judicial bypass, they're put off. And it drives some young women to either go to an incompetent abortion provider, an illegal provider, and they're still out there, or to try to do a home remedy. The one that really comes to my mind first when I think back about this was a 15-year-old girl, and someone told her that if she would douche with bleach, that she would abort on her own. So that's what she'd been doing for about a week when she came to us. The vaginal tissue had caustic burns. Her vagina was just blistered to the point that it had swollen shut. She couldn't be examined. The desperation level is already here. It's the young women, it's the poor women. It's the women who feel like they can't tell anybody, who feel so socially ostracized because of the dilemma that they find themselves in the first place. As the states pass more and more restrictive laws that make it harder and harder, that shrink access more and more, we see those numbers growing.